So welcome to another video, Vegan Drama, and today's video is about the dangers of believing in one leader. Nice view over here if you can see. So I have been following Durinator since 2009, 2010 and implied his advice into my life carving up. And first it was all about fruitarianism, raw food diet, and that's what I was searching for to clear up my acne. Good advice, 30 miles a day, Philly and Harley, promoting fruit, eating enough ripe fruit, getting into bananas, dates, making sure you do it right. On that lifestyle, 100% raw or nothing, I failed, and I went back to eating animal products. But since November 2010, they started promoting, especially Durinator had a link for Dr. McDougall, and I searched that, the Start Solution, and I started eating some rice, pasta and potatoes for dinner, and that made me to stick to the vegan diet much better. And for a few more years they're promoting like this raw till 4 diet after I think since 2012 I believe, and Durinator even started promoting adding a little bit of sugar to your diet, and it was all good. But after that he started making like juices and sugar water instead of eating sugar water and juices instead of like whole foods like potatoes, just making sure you get that like raw till 4 thing, even though pasteurized juices are not raw and sugar is not raw either. First thing when my health went down, when I was like scared of eating like steamed potatoes or rice for lunch, when I couldn't get the fruit down, I would just replace the whole foods, plant foods like potatoes, rice, pasta with things like juices, and I would just like drink juices. Felt really like wacky. It's no fiber, and just because fucking Durinator would say it. And then you see him criticizing other vegans. First it was about the Woodstock Festival, and I understand that because they banned them because they're promoting cooked options. He just escalated. He just started promoting vegan restaurants. And it was fun. First it was like, yeah, keep it low salt, and Philly was even suggesting like eat out at vegan restaurants like maybe once a week, twice a week. And I was just fucking smashing the pizzas for dinner every day, eating Cliff Bars and juices instead of like potatoes, even instead of fruit. Then just he went after anyone in the vegan community that would have like different opinion than him, and he would just criticize him in his videos and pretty much discredit them. And I would even defend his behavior, and just because he helped me at the beginning with getting into the fruitarianism and raw till 4 lifestyle, whole foods, I did him until recently when he had that incident with Bazaciel, or how is it called, Aizel Mazar, and where Durinator, I didn't know how he did it. Like he was just like, hey, this guy came into town and he's contacting underage girls, and hey, let's find him out. And I knew he was just trolling, but I think it was unnecessary. But I didn't really. And then I even stood up for him like in a video. So I even stood up for him in a video just because I felt like I have to like protect him as my leader. Now let's get into the psychology part of it. Why are people so drawn to following one leader, and what are the dangers of following one leader? Look at the history of society. Everyone likes to follow one leader, kind of like the kings, the presidents, the gods. Just like to have this perfect image in their mind of someone, or even if it's like imaginary, like gods, they love it to follow someone as their savior, or kind of like their leader that leads them to a better life. Nobody likes to figure out everything by themselves. Nobody likes to be their own leader. But at the end of the day, that's what we have to do. Following Durinator, everything made sense. Like, yeah, we are fruitarians, we are meant to live in nature and just pick ripe fruit, and and all this, drink enough water, move your body around. And then with the raw till 4, it made sense. Like, yeah, if you can't get ripe fruit, like the root vegetables would be the next best. And then you see him, smashing the PBs in like 5K, and how lean and ripped he is. And you're saying in your mind, yeah, I want to be like him. And then you hear him, all his advice, like harden the fuck up, follow your goals and just do it. And all his famous quotes like, those that mind do not matter, those that matter do not mind. carb the fuck up, harden the fuck up, cheat is the fat you wear. If you make things fun, you take care of motivation. Realize, realize, realize. If you're in doubt, always following the money. And then you just start thinking in your head like he knows everything, he's the best, he's the god, he's the number one, and he has no flaws, he's the perfect superhuman. Same as like other people believe in their presidents, you know, the government, and they just don't want their illusion to get destroyed. Same as Durinator ironically would say. Don't want to hear good things about their bad habits. And then when you find out that like Durinator was doing something bad, you just like kind of like forget it in your mind, like no, that, you know, you just try to justify yourself, just try to justify his bad habits somehow. Just keep believing that he's perfect. Said people are drawn to this perfect image, you know, because if somebody is perfect, it means that you're gonna be perfect as well if you follow him. Nowadays, it's the kind of the marketing tactic. You cannot expose any of your flaws, you know. And then he keeps saying he's transparent all the time. If you notice, he never admits any mistakes. Never, ever, ever. Even in a recent video where in a fight with Freely, he just said bad things about Freely. He didn't say anything bad about himself. Anything at all. You know, if you follow somebody to the point, and even if they're doing something bad, it means you're doing something bad as well, but you're believing that it's good. And then you get into problems like my teeth, or, you know, you believe like, yeah, just smashing the calories until you puke, and then you get like 86 kilos, and you're wondering like, why you're not losing the weight. I think Durinator should, like, first of all, apologize to people for lying to them, and expose all his like flaws and faults. And just say, hey, I'm not perfect, I've been doing this and that, just take the best you can from me and move on. You know, there are other things that I don't know yet. Videos, it makes it seem like he knows fucking everything. That's because he speaks with such a passion, with such a confidence, you know, from the get-go. And that's his marketing technique, you know. He will listen to you if you just say, hey, this might work for me, but might not work for you. So, you know, like, it's different when you say, hey, this is 100% that works, and this is the only way, do it. And that's what people are drawn to, objective, you know, strict rules. And you can see how it changed from raw to raw till 4 to sugar till 4, and who knows what's gonna be next. So how can people believe this one thing he's promoting now, but, you know, in next few months he might be promoting something totally else. So this is where I'm trying to catch you, that even if he's promoting died out, not the battery, the memory got full, recording too many videos. But yeah, so Durinator is promoting something now, and in next few months it might be something totally else. But his marketing technique is that whatever he's saying, it has to sound like it's done 100% truth, and everything else is bullshit. Yeah, that's what people are drawn to, that's what politicians, that's what kings do. You know, even if something is wrong, they just have to say it as like, hey, this is the only way, you gotta do this. And even if it's gonna like destroy your health, or, you know, like, it's not the 100% truth, people like to follow one leader, and they're like too lazy, or, you know, like, they just think like everyone else doesn't have any credibility, so they just take only everything from this one leader. Then we all become fucking dick riders, like they say. So recently stopped being a dick rider and started to think for myself. Even before, like, I was like, no, Fab Durinator disagreed with it, but I was like doing it by myself because it made fucking sense. But then it was like more and more things, and now it's just like disagreement with Freely, and all that is just like totally falling apart, everything, and you don't know what to believe anymore. Anyway, I still think he's got some good tips to say, but, you know, road cycling is not the only sport that you can do. Mountain biking is way, way, way better. Why not to do trail running, or why not to lift weights, why not to climb, you know, all these things. Why one has to do just fucking road cycling for weight loss. Swimming, by the way. You don't have to go up Doisy Tab every day to be lean, man. It's just another brainwashing, like, he said, hey, this is what you have to do now to lose weight. So all you can do is take the best from him and look for other sources, you know, like, I had to look for my teeth because Durinator didn't promote any flossing, but I just like assume like, hey, he knows everything, so I'm just gonna keep it I should have looked, hey, like, what are the dangers associated with eating like fruit all the time, or I should have looked at the early sign of toothache, and like look, and even doing that I had a fake teeth done, and I didn't like fucking pick it up that hey, he might have cavities as well, which he admitted he did. But I just assumed he wanted his teeth to look better. He said like, hey, I got in fight before when I was young, but he never mentioned anything about getting cavities on a fruitarian high sugar lifestyle. So abandon some ideas that you feel are totally bullshit, and most importantly, think for yourself. I'm not saying I know everything, so even take from me the best you think that I know, and take from other people the best you think they know. But don't just pick one leader. Hey, this is the number one. He knows everything, and this one doesn't know a shit. So that doesn't mean you should just like turn around and hate on Durinator. Just say, hey, dude, you're not doing everything the best. Point out his flaws and say, hey, there are other ways possible inside of veganism that you can follow, and Durinator doesn't know everything. That's all I'm trying to say. People like Vegan Eva like are following Durinator to 100%, and they'll die for him. And I know a few more. Like if you look at the Facebook or YouTube comments, there are some people, some dick riders, who are just like sucking Durinator's dick so hard that even if he said something, you would just like deny it. And I've been there too, because again, people love to have that one leader like a daddy who will tell them everything like it is. At the end of the day, nobody will save you. You can only save yourself. And Durinator, if he is responsible enough, should start promoting it. So Durinator, if you're watching this video, man, just say you don't know everything. Just apologize to people for your mistakes that you did before. And yeah, just do it for the noobs, It took me a while to realize that, or I've been lazy to look somewhere else. But yeah, so that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about the dangers of following one leader. And yeah, keep evolving, keep looking for more information. Don't just look at this one source of Durinator or of Freely. Keep educating yourself everywhere the spectrum. Everyone has something to offer. Remember, nobody knows everything, but everyone knows something.